Hey guys, just doing a little tutorial slash product review. If you're like me and you bought a Model Y and didn't get the performance model or just didn't want to opt in for the Uberturbines, I went with the 20-inch induction wheels. Love them, but the one thing that I didn't care for is like how flat this center hub is. That's the one thing that Uberturbines like has beat on this style. So I'm going to take you to the other side of the car, and I found this product, searching forever. And this is what we ended up with. So it's literally just a little plastic piece that 3M tapes onto the existing center hub cap. But the process here, you'll see all over the place. There's these other ones that kind of snap in, but it leaves this giant hole. It's recessed, and I just didn't like that style. I figured it would get really dirty and just didn't look complete. I'll show a picture of that on the screen. But I'm not affiliated with this company at all, but I think it's called I'll post the link, but they sell both styles. They sell the one that has the recessed, and then they have this other kind. So I'll show you the box here. So they just sell this, and what's nice about it is it still has the hole in there, and it 3M tapes onto the existing. But there are a couple things here. I didn't want, is the tape going to hold up when you're driving? Two, how does that affect the car when you're trying to rotate your tires or, do any maintenance? I'm going to be painting my caliper soon, so that's kind of why that was top of mind. So I did a couple tests. As you saw on the one side of the car, I don't have the caps on yet. I put these two on this side so I could drive with them for a couple hundred miles, see how they held up. So far they've held up great. And my other kind of test was, put you down over here for a second, was can they, come up off the car without ripping the tape off or doing any damage. So hopefully that focuses. So I've got this little tool here, and sometimes they come with the car. Mine didn't, so I had to get it off Amazon. They're super easy to find. Just look for, they're pretty universal too. Just look for hubcap or trim removal tool. But what's nice about it is you just kind of put it in this hole and rotate it a little bit. And if you pull, whole thing comes off with no damage. And so you can see here, that's my existing OEM cap with the extra little padding of where that was added. And so I'm going to pop this back on. We try to put our T down to the valve cap, and it just goes right back on. Okay, so now I'm at the other side of the car where we have the original induction cap. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to give it a good clean with some isopropyl alcohol. Most people recommend that when you're doing anything with 3M tape. It quickly evaporates, but just gives a quick clean. These wheels are kind of dirty. I've had this car for about 800 miles now. So like we showed before, here's the cap. I'm just going to go ahead and remove all of this tape. If you've worked with 3M tape, this is everyone's favorite part, is removing all of these strips. But luckily some of these, if you're careful with it, will come off in one long strip. So I'm going to do the same thing as the other car. I'm going to point the T towards the valve stem. And I'm going to try to line it up. Luckily it's pretty flush, so it's hard to mess up. And that's looking pretty good. And then I'm just going to put some pressure, especially on the outer edge, because that's where all the tape is. And what's nice about these is if you don't necessarily line it up exactly where you want it rotation-wise, it still kind of spins if you give it some pressure. So that's not a big problem. So with this, you're going to want, once you get it on, probably don't drive the car for 24 hours. I did it, a night before, and gave it maybe 10 hours or 12 hours, and then it was totally fine. But give it a little bit so you make sure that that tape is secure. As you can see, it's a pretty good match. I wouldn't say it's 100% of a match. They do have a couple options like a gunmetal gray and a matte black, so these are the matte black. So yeah, I'm not necessarily going to show, the last wheel. It's the exact same process, but yeah, so far I like these a lot. I think it kind of adds some finishing touch to the wheel. I just always felt like it was flat and like somebody forgot a step. And I'm kind of particular about this stuff. So if you're particular about this stuff too, and you find yourself in the same situation, check out that link. They're about $30, so they're expensive for what you get, but it's a pretty niche product, and people that are particular about stuff unfortunately end up paying for everything.